Hello everyone, this is Jennifer Quisenberry, the founder and editor-in-chief of the Awesome Muse, and I'm here today to tell you about how to log in if you are a contributing writer to the Awesome Muse. First of all, you have been granted either editor or contributor status. For the purpose of this video, assume that you have been granted editor status. That means that you can upload not only the text of your article, but also media like photographs and video. So let's get started. When you have a new fresh browser window open, you'll want to go to the Awesome Muses site. There we go. Boom. All right. So this is what's going to be the front-facing website that is available for the world to see. However, that's not what we need right now. What we need to be able to add a new article to the site is to get into the back office. So to do that, at the end of the website address, you hit /WP-admin for WordPress admin. So when you get here, what you'll do is you'll type in your username or the email address that's associated with the account. You should have received from me a username that is sent to the email that you provided me. And you will have also received a password. It's going to be a really long, complicated, nonsensical type of password. So for now, we're going to log in as a test. So this is not actually a real account. And I've already saved a password for it, and now we're going to log in. All right, as you can see, the dashboard just automatically updated, and you have quite a few handy little things over here that you can look at. To upload a post, what you want to do is you go over here to the left-hand sidebar where it says Post. You can see All Posts, Add New, Categories, and Tags. So what you'll see right here are some of the various posts that I've written, because you'll be able to see my text as well. Also, something that you need to know about is the Media tab. If you click on that, you'll be taken to our media library. And you'll notice there's an Add New button too. You can add things right there. You can see I've already added quite a few images as well. So let's go back up here to Post. So you can click Add New. So what I'm going to do is create a sample post. There we go. That way there's no doubt as to what this is, and it doesn't accidentally get published and left there. So this is a sample post for instruction only. Getting a little ahead of there myself with my typing. Now, what I would like for you to notice is right here you have several different editing things, just like if you're familiar with using Word, then you're probably going to be familiar with these. One thing that you may want to enable is what's called the toolbar toggle, and a lot of people in the WordPress world call this the kitchen sink. If you open that up, you'll see that you've got quite a few more icons that you can play with. Also here, you'll notice this right here. This is your title, and this is your first heading. So this is where you add additional information. Like this is a sample post for educational purposes. All right, that helps our SEO. You'll notice you have a button for Add Media. That's where you can add photographs, add forms. These two forms are kind of redundant. In the unlikely event that you do need to add a form to one of your publications, like if you're doing a survey or just looking for some general feedback or something, you want to use this one in the center where it says Add Gravity Form. That's a premium plugin that I've purchased, and it looks a lot nicer than the one that comes standard with WordPress. So now let's scroll down and look at a little bit more of the functionality. You have your basic editing things like bold, italics, strike through, making bullets, making numbered lists, making a block quote. You can justify. This is where you're going to insert your links. Like if you need to add a link, you can do that by highlighting your text, and then you click link. It'll open up a place to type in your URL. Then after you've typed it in, the format that we use for adding links is right here. You would have the website address there, and then you would click open link in new tab. That way it'll open up a new tab so that if they are navigating away from the Awesome Muse, they can still come back to the Awesome Muse easily. All right. So now that you're here, let's go over some of the just nuts and bolts of how to do a post. When you've typed in your the body of your post, you'll want to add a photo. So let's add this one here. This is a nice photo of my husband skydiving. And what you'll see is wherever your cursor happens to be located in the body of the text is where your image will go. So if I don't want it to go there, I just click it, tap remove, and then I can hit the enter and then tab it up to the beginning, click it again, and voila. That's how I like to do the post, just for consistency purposes. This is where the featured image for our post began. So now what you want to do is, now that you've got your featured image, you go over here to the scroll bar to the right, select featured image, click that, and there you go. At another time, we will talk about how to caption and set the alt and description tags for your photos if you don't already know how to do that. That helps our SEO as well, so that more people can find us, so that they read what we've written. All right, so let's pretend that this is all that we want to say about this particular article. So we want to see what it looks like. So we click preview. And this is what it's going to look like if it was actually published. So everything looks like it's in order. It has the name, like that'll be your name there. If we click that, it'll take you to a page. It's like an archive. Okay, this is a sample post, so it doesn't actually have an archive, but if it did, that's where it would go. Now, I have not set up an author's box for this particular account since it is a testing account, but there would be down here a box that would show your name and a brief blurb about you and your headshot that you gave me too. So that's why we need those. All right, so let's close out of this so we can get back to the nuts and bolts. All right, let me show you something else. Down here, when you go into Yoast SEO, if you've been blogging for a while, you probably are familiar with Yoast SEO. They just did an update to give us a little bit more functionality. So what you want to do is create your focus keyword. For example, this one's going to be called test. And obviously the SEO for this is really, really pathetic because we're not actually trying to make this for real. But in the real world, anything that has a green dot means you've done a good job. If it's a yellow, you have room for improvement. If it's red, it really needs attention. So once you get those things sorted out, what you want to do is you come over here to where it says readability. Click on that, and it will open up. There we go. Okay, so we're doing a little better on the readability part than we were on the SEO because we've got more green lights. So these will have suggestions like passive voice, transition words, if it's hard to read, things like that. So in this case, we don't have anything that's problematic, but if there was a problem, there would be out to the left of the little colored dots, there would be something shaped like an eye. And if you clicked on that eye, it would tell you up here in the body of your text, it would make suggestions for what you could fix. Okay, so let's pretend that we have finished all of this. What we can do now is save the draft. The reason why I'm asking you to save the draft is so that I can go in and make any tweaks for SEO. I can optimize it for shareability on social media, like with TweetDisk, for instance, if I pull that up. And you can have some fun with this too. You can make either tweet boxes, you can highlight text to make it as a tweet hint. You can even add tweet with text behind your images so that if you want to do that, you can. This is a tweet. See, there you go. It's that easy. So what you do is you go to your HTML editor, move the ending box of the HTML, you copy that using Control X, come down to the end, Control V will paste it, then you just close up your space, then you hit preview. There we go. See right there where it says tweet and it faded out a little bit? That's what we just did. Cool, huh? I love this plugin. It's a premium plugin. I paid for it to make sure that we had some more functionality because I'm all about making it easy for people to share our writing. So I hope you enjoy that. There's another couple of features on here that you may enjoy using too. If you go back into the visual tab right here, you'll be able to see those. Like this right here is an alert box. What that looks like is this. Say I want to make that into an alert box. And then when we preview it, you'll see what that just did. See, there we go. There's our alert box. You can change the colors of it, but I prefer this color right here. So if you are going to use it, I would ask that you please use this nice pretty blue color, which is the one that is the default. So we can close out of that. And now we can save our draft. So here's where we need to talk about something important. As an editor, you do have the ability to publish directly to the Awesome Muse. However, I would ask that you don't do that. The reason being is I want to come in and make sure that we're using the best keywords so that we can get the best amount of traffic, that we've optimized all of our opportunities for sharing, especially like the takeaways and things like that. You know, it's just the more we can do to make it easier for our readers to share our posts, the more readers we will have. And it's worth it for me to take 5 minutes to do that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing your writing because I want it to be in your voice rather than mine. It's, you know, you're a regular contributor, so you deserve to have your voice heard the way you want it to be heard. If there's a typo or something like that, I will clean it up. If the readability button is screaming at me, I may clean it up. I may add a couple of links here and there just so that we can get some additional outbound links going on, and I may add a banner to the end of the article. So, and you know, if you don't have enough photos, we can always add some more in too, and that allows me to make those changes prior to publication. So I ask that you just click Save Draft rather than Publish, and then that'll turn it over to me for me to complete it. If by chance you realize that I have taken over your article prior to you being done with it, then just let me know and I can make those changes, because once I take over it from the master admin account, it won't let you go back into it to make edits. So if you don't mind to give me a heads up when you're finished with an article, I'm not going to touch it until you're finished with it. And then just say, hey, Jennifer, I'm done with my article on chocolate. And it's cool for you to go do your thing to it now. So so just as long as we're communicating, then that's great. Otherwise, I will just let it sit until I've heard from you, because I don't want to publish anything before it's something that you're going to be proud of. All right. So if you have any more questions about this, please let me know in the private Facebook group. And I hope that you have a good evening. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And I can't wait to see what the next post is going to be. Have a great night. Be a muse. Be an awesome muse.